Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Kian here with PYRA, and today I have a super exciting announcement that I have been waiting to announce for such a long time, but I am so excited to bring you guys PYRA World Records, the official records coalition for cup stacking and the sport going forward. PYRA World Records is going to be taking a multitude of stacking organizations and recognizing the absolute fastest times in multiple different categories that you already know and some brand new categories that we'll be announcing in this video. So please watch through the entire video so that you can stay updated with everything that will be coming in the coming months and years. And as you guys know how PYRA rolls, we do offer cash incentives in our tournaments, so we'll also be offering cash incentives for stackers who set world records in the future. I'll get to that a little bit later, but let's talk about PYRA World Records and the importance of it going forward in the sport. PYRA World Records, or PWR for short, is going to be recognizing the most established stacking organizations, putting them all together and taking the fastest times from these organizations in multiple different categories that I'll get to in just a moment, but the organizations that we'll be recognizing at the time of this recording is going to be PYRA, or PCS, obviously, ISSF, KSSA, WSSA, Cupstack, and any other ISSF subsidiaries. We'll be branching out the availability of people to set world records under PYRA tournaments in the coming months and years. So if this is something that interests you and you want to start your own stacking organization with PWR certification, feel free to contact us at this email or the email linked in the description below, and we'll get to talking. Let's talk about the categories that we're going to be recognizing, and then we'll also mention the world records that we'll be officially recognizing today, and the incentives and rewards for the stackers that are going to be taking those world records. The categories we'll be recognizing as of today is going to be 333, 363, cycle, timed 363 relay, and then two new categories we'll be recognizing as of January 1st, 2023, blindfolded cycle and timed cycle relay. So let's talk about those categories. Okay, so you have your standard 333, 363 and cycle, and you also have your standard timed 363 relay. But you might have noticed that doubles is missing from this equation, and this is something that we might consider going forward, adding back into the tournament cycle, at least for PYRA, but it's not something that we're currently recognizing as of this moment, and it's something that we have to kind of judge and actually figure out properly within our own organization and within organizations all around the world. It's a lot more tedious than just, oh, we don't want it. So it's something that we're gonna have to look at from a bird's eye view, at least for PYRA, but I'll definitely keep you guys updated as to whether or not this gets added later on in terms of doubles. And then the other two events, we have blindfolded cycle and timed cycle relay. Blindfolded cycle is going to be a little bit more of a test for a world record, and this is something I take a lot of inspiration from the cubing world from, where cubing, you know, you have the blindfolded 3x3, I think it is, and I think that is a really cool event, and it's something super exciting to watch, so I imagine it's going to be another amazing spectacle for stackers, and I know that the stackers have wanted a new world record category for the longest time, so this is going to be the first entry that you will see at our next tournament in 2023. Foreshadowing. And hopefully other organizations will dabble with this as they please. And then for timed cycle relay, I just felt like this was kind of a missed mark when it came to official events. I'm surprised that timed cycle relay has only been something that was done for head-to-head competitions and not actual timed competitions. So this is something that we're also going to be testing out at our next tournament, and I'm super excited to see what the fastest times in the world can be done for timed cycle relay. So it's another thing for you guys to make a team for and get to practicing. Now let's talk about the actual world records that we'll be recognizing today. The following world records being the categories of 333, 363, cycle, and timed 363 relay. Obviously, we can't recognize the other two categories yet, as from the best of my knowledge, we don't have any official submissions for blindfolded cycle in competition or timed cycle relay in competitions. But tournament directors out there, if you have had submissions in those areas, feel free to let me know in the email down below. The first three are going to be pretty straightforward. All of these come from the WSSA, and all of these are undisputedly the fastest times that are recognized by any sporting organization. For 333, this will be Hyungjung Choi's 1.322. For 363, this will be Chen Kang Ian's 1.658. And for cycle, this is also going to be Chen Kang Ian's 4.753. Now, timed 363 relay is actually where this got a little bit tricky. You see, the WSSA has disqualified 2 different times that the community at large has heavily disputed as clean and verified times. The fastest timed 363 relay that the WSSA recognize is Pro Series E's 12.187. This consists of William Pauly, Dalton Nichols, William Morrell, and Josh Hainsel, with Peter Ford as a substitute. However, there are 2 other times from 2 other teams in the past that did have world records that were disqualified or scratched by the WSSA. These are Spruced Up Cupper's 12 flat 6 and Fantastic Four's 12.054. Now, if it were up to me, and if it were my choice only at the end of the day, this would have easily been given to the Spruced Up Cupper's 12 flat 6. I've always felt like Josh Hainsel with the hand grab just kind of got screwed over because of how vague the rules have always kind of been enforced with the WSSA, but especially in that situation. And for the 12.054, we're not even going to be talking about that because it's kind of in the middle, so, you know, it's one or the other, so it's not really up for consideration when it comes to the world record. So we're basically looking at the 12 flat 6 and the 12.18. Now, I was ready to give this to the 12 flat 6, like I was ready to print out certificates for these guys and send them out. However, I've actually talked to a couple of the stackers and I've seen opinions about this, and it seems that at least half of the team that I've talked to for these Spruced Up Cuppers actually don't agree that the 12 flat 6 should be recognized as the world record, and actually think that the 12.18 would be the better option. However, I have seen some community polls about which relay should be the actual world record, and it seems that the community at large wants to see the 12 flat 6, so I don't really know how to go about this. So I'm going to continue talking to some of the other members on the 12 flat 6 relay and just talking to the community members abroad for the competitive stacking community, but for the time being, I am going to recognize Pro Series E's 12.18.7 as the official 363 relay world record. Now, the hope here is that this time just gets beaten on both of those times, and we have an official world record that is faster than both of those times, so we can just move on. But for the time being, we're just going to rock with the 12.18. Now, this is subject to change, as are all of these records going forward, but I feel at least mostly confident about the choices that PYRA has made. Another thing I want to clarify here in this video is that PYRA is actually not connected with Guinness in any way, shape, or form. I know we list them as world records. PYRA is its own subsidiary when it comes to world records. It is not in any way connected with Guinness or affiliated with Guinness, and I only mention that because I'm sure people will want Guinness certificates, but the bad news is I can't give you Guinness certificates, and believe me, I've tried contacting Guinness. I know multiple different organizations have tried contacting Guinness, but Guinness will only recognize the WSSA, and I think that the WSSA records have actually been kind of delayed when it comes to Guinness recognizing them. I don't know the whole situation about it, but PYRA and PWR, the entire reason that we're doing this is so that you can get world records at any tournament you go to from any of the major tournament organizations. So you might be asking, well, what's the point of going to non-WSSA tournaments and non-Guinness certified tournaments if I can't get Guinness world records? Well, you can still get certificates and world records from PYRA tournaments and any of the PWR organizations that are recognized. Again, we'll be expanding this as we go along the years, but what Guinness and the WSSA won't give you is cash, and that is our biggest incentive. For every new world record that we recognize, not any of the current ones that we recognize today, for any records that are broken starting January 1st, 2023, we will be giving the awarded stackers not only a certificate, but an extra $100 in cash, US cash, obviously, so we'll be, adjusting this to regions and currencies. So it's an extra $100 each for every world record that is new and brought in to the PYRA World Records book. This is the best way for stackers to have the broadest reach to go to whichever tournaments are closest to them, or whichever tournaments that they personally want to go to, and actually get world records of their own, and actually be recognized for having the fastest official times in the world. I hope this wasn't too confusing. I hope this all makes sense to you, and I'm so excited for our next big announcement that is coming later this month, might I add. We're just getting some things finalized in the background, but I am so excited for what's to come in 2023. Again, we have official world records set up on our page, and you can check it out at cupstackingpyra.com/records. and we will be accepting new world records again starting January 1st, 2023. So I'm so excited to see what other organizations do with this. I'm so excited to see what every organization does with this. I hope to see more organizations implementing blindfolded cycle and time to cycle relay in the near future other than just PYRA. And again, we've got some huge things coming for 2023, so buckle up. It's going to be an amazing year. I'm so excited to see what everybody does, but for that, my name's Kian Lynch. This has been a PYRA video, and everybody, keep on stacking.